Hello, my name is Emmanuel Heims from Germany. I want to review the new ASHANKS Smooth 1 Plus slider, motorized slider. I bought it directly from China via AliExpress, and I just want to share some of my experience with this very nice tool, I think. It's a motorized slider with a Bluetooth control, so you can use your iPhone or your Android phone in order to control the movement. And it's made of carbon fiber, so it's a very good and high build quality. I'm very impressed with the quality, I have to admit. You can put it either on a normal tripod, like here, or you can use it only on one tripod and make a vertical climb, like this. And you can also put it on the floor. You have these little stands, which you can put on the floor. It's on both ends. And it has a rubber-made legs so that it does not slip, and you can even adjust these little legs. So very nicely done. It comes with the slider itself, just like this. Then we have the motor, looks like this, very easy. You have a FW50 battery which fits in here. It's a very common battery, you can buy it very cheap. It just goes in here like this. It's very simple, and it's already blinking, showing that the Bluetooth is already turned on. By the way, the battery has to be bought extra. It is not included with the slider itself, so you can get it from anywhere you want. You get a number of different shutter cables for different cameras, Canon, Panasonic. I myself use a Panasonic Lumix GH2 and GH5. So this is for the time-lapse function, which is very nice for photographers and videographers. You get a number of tools in order to adjust certain things. I will show you some of the things that need to be done in order to run it for the first time. So this is also included, a nice little extra. And you also get a very nice bag, which is included. It's also good quality, and you can easily carry it around. It's very lightweight, even when the slider is in there, because the slider is made of carbon fiber, so it's not very heavy. It's very easy to handle. You can even take it on the plane with you. And then there's also a little manual here, which also helps to adjust the slider and choose the right settings for the work that you want to do. Then let's start with putting the slider together. As I said, if you use it for the first time, you have to adjust certain things in order that it runs smoothly. And the first thing that we need to do is to put the slider motor on here. It's very simple. You just take the motor, you put it right here, and then you have this little special red screw which goes in here, and you just tighten it until it fits. So that's the motor. The next thing that we need to do is to get the belt into the motor. You have one screw on the one end and then the other screw on the other end, and you have to run the belt through the motor. I show you how. You only have to do it for the first time, because the motor, if it's put on the slider, it will even fit into the bag, so you don't have to uninstall the slider every time you use it. In order to put the belt in here, there are three little wheels. It's like this. Alright, and then you get the other end and put it through here. Then you get the tool, which is included, and you tighten the screw. Just like this. Okay, this is for the first install. Now the belt is connected to the Bluetooth motor that it can move forward or backward. Alright, the next thing that we need to do is to put it on the tripod. As I said, you can use one tripod or you can use two tripods. It depends on the camera that you use, on the weight that you want to put on the slider. There's even a center plate which you can use. So if you have a very steady tripod, a very heavy one, you can even put it on the center plate and then move the slider like this. I will put it on two tripods, one to the left and one to the right, so that it's very stable. This is also what you can do if you want to do a vertical climb. You can use one tripod a little bit higher and the other tripod a little bit lower. And this way you have even a 3D dimensional movement, very smooth, and you can create very nice pictures with this setup. Alright, I put the tripod plate one end here. You have different holes and you can adjust it to your liking. Alright, this is the first one. Let me get the other one also. It's very simple, same thing. Just like this. Now we have put on two of the tripod plates on both sides, and now we can put the tripod plates onto the tripod. Okay, we just move it in here like this, and we tighten the tripod plates. Put it a little bit in the center here. Just like this. Okay, now we have put it in a horizontal state so that it can make an easy horizontal movement from the right to the left. And now we can install the camera. In order to install the camera, you need like a panorama head, a little tripod head like this. It is not included, so you have to buy it extra. I got this one from Switty. It cost around 25 euro, I think, so it's not very expensive and it's very usable for this kind of setup. So we just screw it on here. Make it tight, and I get the camera plate out of here in order to put it on my camera. In this case, I'm just simply using a GH2, the old GH2 workhorse. Alright, then we can put the tripod plate with the camera into the little panorama head, and this is the basic setup right now. We already included the battery here. There's no switch for power on or power off. You put the battery in and then the power is on, you get it out and the power is off. So it's very simple to do it like this. It's also important that you put the slider on the tripod like this. The motor has to face to the front, just like the lens of the camera. This is the right direction for the setup. Now what we need to do is to get our phone, and you can simply search for ASHANKS in the Google Play Store or in the App Store and download it. It's called ASHANKS Play. And it asks you to turn on your Bluetooth, and this is what we will do. I will turn on my Bluetooth, and it will already detect the motorized slider, the Bluetooth slider. As I've shown you before, there is a little red light flashing. The app is trying to connect to the motor, and once it is connected, the little LED light, the red light, will stop flashing and it will show a solid red. So then you know that the connection has been established between the app, your telephone and the motorized slider. And it says connection success. And now the app is open and you can choose between different modes. One for the video mode, where you just move the slider in a continuous movement from one side to the other, and the other one is the time-lapse function, which is movement in increments, like every 1 second you want to take a picture, and then the motorized slider will move from time to time. To use the video function, you have to go to the video page. This is the second button on the app in the middle. And here you can set up the 2 points, the beginning point and the end point. You click on this setting here and you move to the point where you want to start it. And we simply click OK. And then it has stored the first point. It's also called point A. And then we move to the end point. It's called point B. And also click OK. It's a good idea to not move the slider completely to the end, because it will collide with the end. So I will just move a little bit back, like this, so that when it's continuously running, it will not create a bump. You also have a slider here in order to control the speed. And now we can say that we want to use this button in order to run from A to B, and the other one from B to A. This is from beginning to end or from end to beginning. You also have 2 extra buttons, one for auto round, which means that it will continuously repeat the movement and it will only stop when you press stop here. And the other one is soft start. I don't know if it's already working correctly, but it's supposed to move slowly to the end point and then start slowly again until it has reached full speed again. So we just want to show you for the first, this is now the fastest movement. As you can see, it's moving pretty quickly. By the way, this is an 80 centimeter slider. I think they also have a 120 centimeter slider available, but I think 80 centimeters is already a very nice length. Okay, now we have seen that it went to one end and it's going to the other end very nicely. You can hear the noise of the motor just a little bit. I don't know if it's too loud when you do interviews. You have to find out for yourself, especially when the speed is very slow. You can hear a very high frequency sound because the motor is moving so slow that you cannot even see it, like this. When you press the pause button, it stops moving. And you can also move in the other direction, like this. Then it will start moving again. And now we also have 3 different options for the movement of the camera to adjust the hypothesis, which means that if we have this middle rod in the center, the camera will simply do a parallel movement, parallel to the action, so the camera head itself will not move. It looks like this. I can increase the speed, then it's easier to see. So the lens and the camera head, they are not moving at all. And the focus plate is just going very smoothly on the slider. If you want to move it, you adjust the middle rod, and you just have to find out by trial and error which angle is right for you. You can move it to one direction like this, and then it will create a panoramic shot by moving the focus pole, which is the middle pole. So the left part of the rod is towards the front and the bottom part of the rod is towards the back. Now, if we start moving, we can see that it is creating a panoramic shot. The camera is moving from this end slowly towards the other end. So you can create a very nice shot. We can stop it here, and then if we move it to the other position, this is the tracking dolly shot where the center of the scene is always in the focus of the camera. If you have an interview or something, you can fix it to this one point, so the camera moves around your subject like this. Of course, you have the ability also to adjust the camera height and the angle by the camera itself. You can use your panorama head also to adjust the angle. It is always a good idea before you start shooting to just find out which setting is correct for yourself. What's important to note is that if you use the app, once it gets disconnected or you shut down your telephone or remove the battery, you have to reset the beginning and end points, the point A and B. It does not store it, it does not have a memory setting for it, so you always have to redo this setting. I don't think it's a big deal, but just so you know. Another nice thing that I like about the slider is that they included this little water bubble here, which shows if you are in balance or not. You also have these two knobs, the red one and the gray one. The top one is for locking the turntable, which locks it when you want to do a parallel movement. And the bottom one is adjusting how tight the slider head is on the rails. So if you tighten it too much, the slider will not even move. You have to find the right setting so that it runs smoothly even when you have a very slow speed. One thing that I really like about the Smooth One Plus slider by ASHANKS is that it can move at very slow increments. You can adjust the speed. This is full speed right now, and we can decrease it, but you can hardly see any movement. It's moving right now, but very, very slow. So if you have this subtle motion, you can create very nice pictures for videos and film work. If you want to use the time-lapse function, which I did not cover in this review, you get the shutter cables from ASHANKS, they are included, and you simply plug them into the motor right here, and the other end goes into your camera. So if you have a Canon or Sony or Panasonic, they ship different cables, and you can use it to use the time-lapse function, which is also part of the app. What's also a great thing is that the batteries they use are very ordinary batteries. They are very cheap and you can get them anywhere. FW50, I think they are used by the Sony Alpha cameras also. It's a very long battery life, so you can run this for, I don't know, I didn't check it out how many hours. It still says 100% slider rail power here on the app, so we didn't use up any of the batteries so far. What's also very nice is that you can now control the slider with your phone. Before they had a separate remote control which you had to use, and you had to get extra batteries, and you had a cable, and you had to be very close to the slider in order to make the adjustments. Now you can use your phone and use Bluetooth, and you can move a couple of meters away and it will still work, and you have a good connection. And you can adjust the different beginning and end points directly from your phone. You can use Apple iPhone or you can use Android phones. The app will work very flawlessly. I didn't have any problems so far with the app. So that's a very good plus point also. The ASHANKS slider is very robust. I think you can easily put on 2 to 5 kilogram, even bigger cameras onto this focus plates, because it's very strong. If you put it on 2 tripods like this, it will be a very stable setup. And the nice thing is that you can create very smooth camera movements, which you could not do if you would handle it only manually with your hands. This would be impossible, and if you use it with a motorized slider, you will get very excellent results. ASHANKS also has a very good customer support. I asked for a replacement part and they sent it to me directly from China. So if you are in need of any parts like the belt, if you need a new belt, they will send you a spare part directly from China and you can continue to use it. So the customer support is also a very good thing if you are looking for a professional product. I have to admit that I'm very convinced and impressed by the quality of this slider. If you compare it to much more expensive products, I don't think it's missing anything. of the important things. It's very good quality. It's very lightweight because of the carbon fiber that they used. You have many adjustments that you can make, and you have many different screws and holes that you can put it on tripods or on tabletops or anywhere else. I was able to get some great results with this ASHANKS motorized slider, the S20 Smooth 1 Plus, and I really recommend this product. Maybe you will just look for the ASHANKS slider and give it a try. I think for the money that you pay for it, it's worth to give it a try. If you want to get more information about ASHANKS, they have a website, www.ashanks.com. This was my little review about the ASHANKS S20 80cm Smooth 1 Plus motorized slider with Bluetooth control. I think it's a very nice add-on for professional videographers and film makers. I myself like it very much, and I think it's really worth the money that you pay for it. It's not as expensive as some of the more advanced versions, but I think it's really doing a good job. It's moving very smoothly. The only thing that I think is not as good is that it does not memorize the end and beginning points, and that the noise may be a problem for some settings like interviews, that the motor could be a little bit too loud, but you have to try it in your environment. So this is the only 2 points which I think are not perfect yet, but maybe they are working on it and improving, so the next version is even better than this one. Have a great day and God bless you from Germany.